Hello and happy Wisdom Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in and for choosing to spend some of your time with me. It's your girl, Milagros here. And during the month of April, as some of you know, I am focusing on releasing. And so that's what I'm sharing with everybody. And clearly, I released a whole lot of hair to find my freedom and to be intentional about cutting off the things in my life that are holding me back, that feel like a fight and that feel like a struggle. Because the reality is that if you're a Christian and you believe in God or anything like that, you acknowledge that Jesus went to the cross and died so that you could live a life to the fullest and to the freest. So I'm realizing that all the things that we have been taught that we need to fight through and struggle through in order to earn something on the other end of that is not really true at all, because all that stuff went to the cross. And so we deserve and can get that stuff without having to go through the fight or the struggle. Now, the reality is somebody's going to say to me, of course, but Maria, in order to get to that next level, sometimes it is, you have to fight, you have to struggle. And here's my thinking about that. It's not a fight or a struggle unless you decide that it's going to be a fight or a struggle. What it is expansion, it's evolution, it's growing, it's learning new things, it's evolving. And if you decide that evolving and evolution and expansion and learning new things is a struggle, then congratulations, you just set yourself up for a fight. But if you decide that it's new and it's exciting and it's an experience and it's part of life so that you can get to the next level, then congratulations, you decided that you're done with the fight. The Bible says that the power of life and death is in the tongue. And as a man thinks, so he is. So the reality is that the words that we're using to describe our lives are in fact shaping our lives. So we have to get better at releasing words like the fight and the struggle and adapting words like new, exciting, adventure, experience, right? Because then if our perspective is in that direction, when these things that we come up against, that we will come up against, when they arise, it's not so difficult. It's not like, oh no, everything's coming to an end because I'm dealing with it. We go, yeah, this is new. Life brings me new. This is change. Life brings change. This is part of the adventure. This is one of the dips and the highs of the roller coaster that is life. And this is what makes it so much fun, right? So we have to change our words. But that was not the focus of this video. The focus of this video for me was to talk about releasing ourselves from these time constraints that we have created. So many people go, by the time I turn 25, I want to be married with a car and a house and a white picket fence with 2.5 kids and a puppy, right? And then there are some people like, by the time I turn 30, I want to be doing this. And then they hit that age, and the reality is that you were having different experiences, right? And so because you created this expectation, because you create this time constraint, when the time comes and you don't achieve those things, you beat yourself up. And then you feel defeated and deflated, actually, because you haven't reached a marker that you created, right? So here's what I have to say about that. We have got to release like this putting ourselves on the hook, making it so hard for ourselves. We have to release that. We have to let ourselves off the hook and acknowledge that if I didn't do that thing, well, one, there have been a couple of things that I said I was going to do by a certain age. And then as I move through my life, I'm like, I don't really want that. Actually, not at all. So that was one. And then two, sometimes we get to the age and we have to look back and go, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that thing, or I wasn't in the right place to accept that thing or to do the work for that thing. And then when the time comes that I feel compelled to do it and I feel really ready, I'm going to go do it and I'm going to handle my business. I was talking to a woman today and she was saying, I have so many things that I want to do and I feel like I'm not doing the things that I want to do. Well, then you clearly weren't ready, because if we as humans want something bad enough, we'll figure it out. We will grind and hustle and drag ourselves to figure it out. We always do, because that's part of our innate being, right? We want something bad enough, we'll figure it out. If you're hungry, you're going to find something to eat. If you're cold, you're going to figure out how to warm yourself up, right? You're going to figure it out. So if that was something that was really compelling to you, you would have taken the steps. And if it wasn't, release this idea that it had to be done by a certain time. Right? Because time, what is time? That's not even a real thing. There are so many people that we know of who didn't start their lives until they were 60, 70, 50, 60, 70 years old. And by say start at their lives, I mean start living out the things that they said that they had wanted to do. Well, there's a couple of things that probably got in their way, but if they're mature and wise enough, they're going to look back and say, and that's okay because my life led me to this moment and this is the perfect moment to start this thing, or this is the perfect moment to begin. So that's what I wanted to give you. One, release this idea that there has to be a fight and a struggle with everything. Like, please and thank you. You deserve it. You deserve to live a life that doesn't feel bogged down by our own words. And then two, release this idea of a time constraint. If there's something that you feel really compelled to do, get yourself a little list. Think about every single thing you could possibly think of for that thing. And then every day, just start chipping away at it one day at a time and just trust that it's going to evolve the way it's supposed to evolve, that it's going to, manifest the way it's supposed to manifest. And some of those things on our list, if we're just honestly moving in a place of trust and we're moving in a place knowing who we are and whose we are and that we are deserving and worthy, some of those things on our list we won't even have to do. Like, it will line itself up that someone else will come in and say, oh, you know what, I was thinking I have this. And you go, oh my gosh, that was on my list. But that doesn't happen until we start trusting. Right? We start taking the tiny baby steps that we can in the direction of, and then we just trust, and we have to release the not trusting. Release trust. Put trust out there and then expect with the expectation that it's going to return to you. I'm not a big fan of expectations, but I do expect that when I release trust, it always comes back to me in its like form. So yeah, that's what I have. I hope that this was beneficial for you in terms of releasing some things, hopefully moving you through this part of April and into, real spring. It's coming, guys. It's coming. And I hope that if you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you know someone who could benefit from it, share it. And if you have any comments or if there's something that you feel like you're having a hard time releasing, let me know and let's talk about it. Let's see if I can give you some tips, or maybe someone else in our community can give you some tips or some techniques or something that might have worked for them. So that's it. I hope you have a great rest of your week and a fantastic, super sparkly weekend. Peace.